Yep, looks like you were right with cunning. What are you looking for?
Nothing. Will he live?
He'll live.
So what have you found out?
Randall Lee. Apparently in love with our penitentiary system, judging by the frequency of his visits. Theft, assault, extortion, minor things of the sort.
Any partners?
Always works alone. He's never ratted out his employers, provided they exist. Did you find anything? Is this our man? Do you have proof?
It looks like we know who tore his pants following Mary Purnell up to the rooftop. His pants have a tear in them. I found a piece of that same fabric at the gym, on the stairs that lead to the rooftop where we found the second body.
Makes sense, but how many pairs of ripped pants are walking around New York City? I don't call that evidence.
The guy who broke into the gym in Dunn's place has a thing for sardines. Did you smell his breath?
Right, because there's only one sardine fanatic on this side of the Hudson. I need something more.
I saw footprints from those very same shoes next to both the gym murders.
Unless you're telling me that shoe is a limited edition, I'm gonna need something else.
One of the thugs that attacked me the other night had a snout just like his.
I'm sorry, but you can't incriminate someone based solely on species. What else you got?
What more do you need? I've given you 4 pieces of evidence.
None of which are conclusive.
He tried to throw me off the rooftop.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. He's our man.
No, he's not our man.
Make up your mind.
He's just a puppet. Someone is pulling his strings.
Could it be Yale?
No, I'm still certain. He's innocent. By the way, was he discharged? His room is empty.
They let him out yesterday. He's in police custody now. You can tell he's an athlete. Made quite the comeback. Anyone else would have taken 10 times as long. Anyway, he better be fine. You know they've ordered me to escort him to Madison Square Garden on the day of the fight.
That's the first I hear of it.
Quick, what do you want? Good cop or bad cop?
I'm the good guy.
Good thing someone took out the trash.
No wonder you were saved by garbage, you piece of trash. But you're gonna wish it hadn't.
Go to hell, you dog.
Don't pay any attention to flat feet, Mr. Lee. Yeah, you're in a tight spot, but there's always a way out. We have proof that you killed Joe Dunn and Mary Purnell.
I'll call your bluff. You ain't got nothing.
Are you acquainted with our usual witness program? For a modest sum, they'll say they saw your sorry snout when and where we tell them to.
We're no strangers to false evidence. We could arrest your sorry ass for more crimes than you've committed.
Although it is odd that my partner won't offer you a deal in exchange for telling us who hired you.
What can you offer me?
We could significantly reduce your sentence. I could testify that you helped me on the rooftop.
You're pathetic. Is that why you never got in the police force, Blacksad? Did you fail the good cop, bad cop test? I won't say a word. And believe me, you stand to lose. Care for a piece of advice? If I were you, I'd fear for my life. I'm afraid that...
Whoa!
Watch out! Luckily, Smirnov's wound wasn't as bad as Randall's. Unfortunately, the police found nothing on the nearby rooftops. Our best shot at finding the killer was gone, so I went back to my previous lead.
It's from before my mother got sick and we moved here. I loved reading stories about pirates, so my father drew a treasure map for me. I searched the whole house, one clue at a time. It led me to this enormous tree in the yard where Daddy had put up a tire swing.
Hello, Smirnoff residence.
You're
Blacksad
dead!
here.
No, I got you with my lasso!
Can you quiet down, kids?
Dunn got killed for stirring the hornet's nest.
And you confessed your crime!
Kids, please.
He'd been investigating athletes for months, including Helen Moore and Al Stone, among others. Dunn's notes aren't all that clear, and I'm not sure what he was after. But I'd say we're facing a widespread corruption case.
Well, if you're right, that could be some dangerous evidence. Bring it here ASAP.
Sure, but there's something important that I need to finish first. wanted to follow a certain lead on my own before Smirnov had the chance to see anything. According to his notebook, Dunn had seen Craig Spano at Sam's Diner just 4 days before his death.
Scram, you son of a bitch!
I have some questions for you.
Oh, well, maybe I don't have answers for a pussy.
It might have been easier to slap the information out of him, but I decided to trust in a universal truth. Everyone is guilty of something. You don't know who I am, right?
Don't know and don't care! Come on, spit it out!
I'm John H. Blackmore, Public Health Inspector.
Oh, yeah, right. There are some real freaks around here, so I have to be firm, you know? Have you eaten? Dinner's on the house.
After you answer my questions.
Sure, go ahead. Your call. Always at your disposal, Inspector. Ask away.
Fear turned him soft and made him talk. Sure enough, Dunn had been there a few days back with a chimpanzee who matched Spano's description. Apparently, the guy still lived with his father. Dunn said he couldn't stay there a day more. For the time being, he would move into his place.
Wait a minute. What does Public Health Services have to do with that chimp?
The chimp died of food poisoning,
But wait! He didn't even eat!
which is even worse. Dunn had taken Spano to his place. I wanted to believe that when Randall Lee broke into the apartment, Spano fled to his former address. But where could that be? I gotcha. If the living have rich and poor neighborhoods, so do the dead. In the mid-19th century, Greenwood became the resting place to the city's most distinguished citizens. Thinkers, scientists, writers, inventors, artists, businessmen, politicians, police officers, thieves, pimps, and murderers. Here lie the bodies of the soulless minds that raised New York from the ground up. Now you know where to go to become somebody in the Big Apple. A Celtic cross. Supposedly, the ring keeps the devil at bay by reflecting the sunlight. Really handy at this time of the day. Still hot. The 4 bases guarding their father. According to the book I found at Dunn's place, fans of the sport leave baseballs on Bradwick's tomb to pay their respects. It's strange that I don't see any. Maybe they're gone with the wind, or somebody claimed them as part of their inheritance. If this had been here over 30 minutes, it'd be covered in ants. I've never trusted angels. When they fall, all hell breaks loose. I found a baseball glove at Joe Dunn's place. A glove signed by a great star. I couldn't believe my luck. I've always been a New York Warriors fan, although to be honest, they're not what they used to be. Yep, they just haven't been the same without Craig Spano. Joe Dunn met with someone at the diner, close to his gym. Then he took that person to his house, so that he didn't have to live at the cemetery. I would have never guessed the person's identity.
Marley's are the absolute worst.
are you?
I'm John Blacksad, private investigator.
How's Joe?
One question at a time. It's my turn.
Your turn.
Why are you hiding here?
Because I fear for my life. Because this is the only place where I feel safe. Because Joe took me to his home. But they went looking for me there too.
What did he want from you? And who wants to kill you?
One question at a time. How's Joe?
What would happen if I told him the truth? Would he lose it? Could I take that chance? Joe Dunn is dead. Murdered.
I told you, Joe. How did it happen?
One question at a time. My turn. What did Dunn want from you?
He wanted to know who was playing dirty in the sporting business. Dirtier than usual, that is. Wrecked lives, careers, ruined at the top of their game. He wanted to know if the same had happened to me. He wanted to know if the end of my career and my disappearance had anything to do with all that. He wanted me to confirm who was behind it all. The guy who had him killed. Our old friend, the surgeon.
Is Mitchell the surgeon? Is he the person behind all of this? That surgeon you mentioned, is he...
My turn. I want to know why I should trust you.
Because I take my job very seriously. It's my turn. That surgeon that you mentioned, is he in this photo I got here? Ow! Hey! Hey, that toss was... Both my ear and my self-esteem would hurt for days. But at least I had a new lead to follow, the surgeon. The bastard had avoided my scrutiny by passing as a hospital doctor. But now, all of my senses were on guard. No matter how good the disguise or how well he hid, I would find him.
So, what you're saying is, 1, there's a corruption scandal involving all kinds of athletes. 2, our puppet master is a surgeon named Mitchell, a man who happened to fight in the war with Dunn, right?
Every lead I've found points to him.
Anyway, where was I? Number 3, right? 3, since Dunn was on his trail, Mitchell hired an anteater to get rid of him. Then, since you were also shaking the wasp's nest, he went after you. But the anteater made a mistake, and Mitchell killed him to cover his own tracks. And, wait, 4, the key to all this lies with a common friend of Dunn's and Mitchell's, Craig Spenow. Do you really trust him?
You should know that I don't trust anyone.
Except for your friend Weekly, that is. 4. No, I mean 5. Dunn was murdered 4 days after taking Spenno to his house. If that doesn't make him suspect, makes sense, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't add up.
Why not?
Just a hunch.
Let's follow up with the suspects. You told Smirnoff you're convinced that Yale is innocent. But what about O'Leary? 6.
O'Leary wouldn't have sent Randall to kill Dunn. He would have dragged him to his basement, given him his little speech, and then killed him himself. Nah, I know O'Leary, and he wouldn't have sent a hitman. He would have taken matters into his own hands.
What about Cassidy? 7, right?
I think it's safe to rule out Cassidy as Dunn's murderer. He seems too impulsive to have planned such a twisted crime. Whoever planned the whole thing knew the suicide theory would fall through, so he manipulated the clues to incriminate Yale. Cassidy is too impulsive to pull off such an intricate plan.
So you're right. Mitchell is the one pulling the strings. And you know why? Because in novels, the murderer is always someone the detective knows from the beginning.
Well, that could be the case in British novels. You know, where everyone in the mansion where the murder took place is a suspect. But this might just be an American whodunit, where the detective doesn't even meet the culprit until the last scene.
You mean we still don't know who's pulling the strings?
I didn't say that. How did it go with Helen Moore?
I didn't get anything, even though it started out really well. I asked to interview her along with her boyfriend, Al Stone. Since I'm a big shot, they were happy to oblige. Perfect. Now, time for the interview. I'll go back and forth so you don't get bored. So, who goes first? Here's a question for Al. In just 12 days, the contender will try to steal your belt. Any thoughts on your fight against Yale?
Yeah, sure.
My Al is going to kick that thug's behind. Isn't that so, honey?
Yeah, well, we'll see. No such thing as a weak rival.
Nonsense. You are and will be world champion. Next question.
Okay, now. Here's one for Helen. Dating a boxer can be dangerous. Aren't you afraid that those blows to the head will take a toll on his intellectual capacity?
Honey, take a look at my man and then look at yourself. You really think I'm with him because of his intellectual capacity?
Helen!
Write this down. Nothing will change my man. His smarts, manliness, and integrity are all boxing proof.
Moving on. Here's one for both of you. What do you think about sports on television? Is it good for business, or will it make it all more For the masses.
More for the masses, for sure, but also more fair. Ever since television came along, there's no place for corrupt athletes or rigged games. In the old days, athletes succumbed to corruption scandals because they didn't make enough money. Because no matter how large a stadium is, space is limited. But thanks to TV and advertising, my generation has put an end to corruption.
Now that's a headline. Now what? So, Al. Your manager is Frank Cassidy, president of the Boxing Managers Association of New York. According to him, only boxers working with member managers should be allowed to compete. What do you think about that?
We never talk politics, honey. Athletes should steer clear of controversy and stay focused on their sport. Don't you think?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, one more question, and...
Al, honey, can you answer it? I've gotta go say hi to a fan. I'll be right back, Mr. Pulitzer.
Wait. You mean she stopped smiling when that fan showed up?
Yeah.
Could you describe him for me?
I'll be able to show you something as soon as I'm done developing these pictures. And actually, I thought it was odd too. So while I continued to interview Stone, I managed to take some pictures of Moore and whoever her mysterious fan was. All right, so where were we? Are you ever jealous about sharing your sweetheart with America?
Well, I wouldn't say I'm jealous, but I know that someone so popular and honest can draw the wrong kind of attention. There are plenty of people who would love to put an end to her career, so it's not easy.
Your manager is Frank Cassidy, president of the Boxing Managers Association of New York. According to him, only boxers working with member managers should be allowed to compete. What do you think about that?
Cassidy is a great manager, really. No complaints there. And the work he's putting in as president of the association is really valuable. But, I don't know, maybe in this case, Joe Dunn was right. Wait, no. Could you keep that last comment off the record? You know, on the down low.
My lips are sealed. In just 12 days, the contender will try to steal your belt. Any thoughts on your fight against Yale?
Well, supposedly the odds are in my favor, but there's no such thing as a weak rival. And, you know, Bobby Yale might be young and going through a rough patch, but he's had an amazing streak, so I'll do my best.
Let's get that picture taken. Okay, now raise your head and your arms up like you were celebrating a victory.
Like this?
Exactly. Wait, I accidentally moved. Stand still. I'll take another one. What's with me today? Don't move, please. Now we got it. Should we keep at it? I'm going to take one more, all right? Let's see what you think about this. Close your eyes and rest your chin on your fist. The boxing thinker.
Like this?
Exactly. What's up with me? Stand still. I'll take it again. I can't seem to get it right. Don't move. It's about time. Finally, we're all set.
Wait. So, are you telling me the photos are developed? Or is that what you said to Stone?
Both. Just look.
Who's that guy?
I know he's not a fan. You should have seen her face when she saw him.
I think she only smokes when she's nervous. What was making her nervous? Wait, that's him.
Who?
Mitchell, the surgeon.
Seriously? We got him.
Not yet. I've seen that matchbox before.
Focus, Blacksad. We need to figure out how to find that Mitchell guy. Hey, pal. Did you hear what I just said? We need to keep looking at all those pictures. We need a clue that'll take us to Mitchell. Hey, see? There. Just like I was saying.
Brawls aren't even the worst part of my job. Sure, you may take a beating, but at least you get the chance to defend yourself. But when you're sitting in your car all night, there's no way out. Your legs cramp up, your back and neck feel stiff. Your entire body aches to be somewhere else. It's boring and repetitive. People were finally leaving the place. The bar was about to close. And I hadn't seen Mitchell go in or out. I had no choice.
I see you took me up on my invitation. And you're smart. You knew not to come until my anti-fur regulars had all cleared out.
I can't say no to good advice.
Or good bourbon. Here's looking at you, Mr. What was your name?
As far as I knew, La Iguana always stayed neutral. He played poker with Cassidy. But his joint was used as a gambling drop-off for O'Leary's operation. Did it make sense to keep faking it? Or was it too dangerous not to?
Farnham. Howard M. Farnham II.
That's right. Howard Farnham from Ding Dong, Texas. You're natural. You're even better at pool than poker.
This here's much easier. No cheating.
You barely flinched when Cassidy decided to teach that ego a lesson.
What do you want a fella to say? Between you and me, partner, this ain't my first showdown. We all got our own lethal barber.
Damn it.
Well, nobody's perfect. Tell me, what do you really want with Cassidy? I can't say it's clear to me.
I'm looking to start a boxing managers association in Texas. I could really use Cassidy's know-how.
Don't worry about it. I was only curious. So, what about me? What do you want from me? No one comes to La Iguana just to drink and play pool.
I'm here looking for a regular of yours, Dr. Angus Mitchell.
What for?
We fought together during the war. I just wanted to say hi.
Sure. Tell you what, I'll talk to Mitchell. Come back tomorrow night.
You don't understand. I have to talk to him, or else.
Or else what?
I don't think Cassidy would be too happy about the role this here dump plays in old Leary's gambling operation. You follow me?
Son of a bitch. All right. Give me your phone number, and I'll give you a call when Mitchell shows up.
No. You're gonna call him right now, and you're gonna give him this message. But when you're sitting in your car all night, there's no way out. Your legs cramp up, your back and neck feel stiff, your entire body aches to be somewhere else. It's boring and repetitive. It's so bad that your thoughts spiral in a never-ending loop, like when you're stuck in your car on surveillance duty. The owner of La Iguana was supposed to tell Mitchell that a certain anteater was still alive, and that it was only a matter of time before he ratted him out. With a bit of luck, that would make him nervous enough to force his hand. Now all I had to do was follow him.
We'll be just fine, don't worry. Gil, stand guard right here. If the cat shows up, you know what to do. I'll be back in an hour.